love and give me shelter. Simple life, it's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love and give me shelter. Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the We Too Are Librarians Movement platform, your distinct and dynamic platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we're in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. I am going to be your host, as usual, C.I.T. Williams. Tonight, I have with me my co-host, Eddie Dixon. We're excited to be here to broadcast this live for the very first time. For the most part, Eddie is going to be telling a little bit about himself. Again, this is the We Too Are Librarians Movement platform. Eddie, it's good to have you. And so we'll give you the opportunity to give you that chance to give us maybe some little background about yourself.
I appreciate it right there. I mean, I think this is the second time we tried this, we tested this. The last time you and I was on briefly, and I was able to introduce myself. I think people wanted to know a lot more about my journey and know a lot more about what I've done. I'm Eddie Dixon. I'm the founder and CEO, a co-founder and CEO of a cosmetics, agro-based cosmetic company called Beauty Shea Cosmetics. We have been in existence for quite a while. We've been around for about 8 years now, and it's a lot more that has to do with the journey as far as we have come. But like I said, I'm a founder. I currently run that business within the Philadelphia area. I work full time as well for I work full time for Albertsons as within that same sector while marketing and merchandising coordinator. At the same time, running my business at the same time. So I grew up in Philly. I grew up in the Upper Darby area, Philadelphia area. I'm from Liberia. I'm half Liberian, half Ghanaian. I fluently speak Tree, so sometimes people can say, "Oh, you're not Liberian. You're not a Ghanaian. You're Liberian, or you're not a Ghanaian. You're Liberian." So I've been around. I've been fortunate enough to be in the U.S., but I have my fair story, my fair share of life experiences and entrepreneurship, and it's just coming to the point where I've come to realize, my purpose in life and what my true calling are. So the topic today is entrepreneurship, and if my man Aite can end it for me, that'd be perfect.
So again, thank you very much, Eddie, for that great introduction of yourself. I think it would have been more relevant to start the show just by presenting our topic. As you mentioned earlier, topic today is purpose and entrepreneurship. And there's a reason why I wanted to, pretty much talk about purpose, and then later on we can kind of tie entrepreneurship to that purpose. And because when it comes to purpose, I know pretty much it talks about, why we're here, why we were born, and pretty much I was just listening to a writer called Robert Greene, who talks about purpose, and what he talks about also, in addition to just purpose, he talks about lives tax. So the true reason why we're here, why we came, and our function, our duty, and things like that. So if we can define that, we can find our true purpose, why we get up in the morning, why we want to do certain things that we want to do. And once you find that, then now, you can kind of talk about entrepreneurship. That is, finding your own niche, your own gift and things like that, and how you can multiply that to distribute it, make contribution to the world. I know when we're talking today earlier on also, Eddie, I talk about the reason why we were created. We were created so that we can cultivate the earth, so that we can replenish the earth, and all that stuff. And so, with purpose, I think pretty much, that kind of really, it pretty much ties into to. So what would be your uh having said everything that you said, what do you think about, your purpose? And that will have to do with your calling. What do you think, other than, what if you, let's say, maybe what you studied in school today, what you have become is as a result of some influence from outside, but do you really think that this is your purpose? And if not, what do you think is your purpose?
For me, one thing that I've come to realize, there's such thing as your calling, but how you find it, how you become aware of. Sometimes, when you want to go, I'm not going to go biblical, because I'm not a preacher, but sometimes people can say I found my calling early. Some people search for decades. Some people can even be at the age of 70, 80, 90 before they find their calling. And it's for me, it's on an individual basis. But then sometimes your experiences in life, your upbringing, like whatever you pass through in life, determine your calling as well. So for me personally, if I was to say what was my calling, I took everything that I've been through in life and I used that to my advantage to define my calling. And if I was to define what my calling really is right currently right now, it would be more. I would write you a book, but I want to make a contribution to society. That's my calling. I want to. I'm not eager to make history, but I want to be part of those. Like one day, if you was to call my name today or my family name today, you could say Eddie Dixon did this. I want
Yeah.
to leave I want to leave an impact on society. That's it.
Great, great,
That's
great,
my
great.
calling.
And definitely we can tie both together. You want to live your calling, you want to make a difference, and I think pretty much that's the reason why we're here, to leave some kind of legacy, something behind. Whatever you do, find purpose. It's just quite important that we do that. I know, for the benefit of brevity, for the sake of time, we will not be too lengthy in our responses and the questions I will be asking to. I'll try to see I can narrate as much as possible so that we can get out of here quickly, since we're already running out of time. Um, so then, if we were to just pivot a little bit and talk about entrepreneurship, because I know that's something that you have been, uh, pretty much focused on. You have it when it comes to you heavily, or strategically focus on that. What would you say about the importance of entrepreneurship, and why is it so important to you as an individual?
I appreciate the question, and I would say something that, let's retract a bit. Let's retract that you asked a question about purpose, and I define it based on an individual basis and your experiences. So let's come back to entrepreneurship. Doing my purpose or doing my journey, what did I identify? What characteristics did I identify to make me want to tap into what I'm actually doing now? So you have to have passion when it comes to entrepreneurship. And that's where people can define one as becoming stubborn. Mind you, I think you and I had a conversation earlier today, and you said something about, you use a lot of reference, and you said something about Bill Gates and how they all started. It's endurance and patience. they had endurance, and they had patience. They had vision. And when you have that vision and you have endurance and you have patience, it may seems like you don't have that patience or that endurance, but what you go through, how you're able to sustain it over the period of time. Entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle. You have to be able to adapt to it. If you call yourself a true businessman in Africa, you say that you're businessman, but when you call yourself a true entrepreneur, you have to be able to adapt. It means you're taking your entire lifestyle and saying, I'm going to create this. This is what I want to become. This is what I want to sell. This is what I want to create. And you make that entire thing about your life. To me, that's entrepreneurship. And
Okay.
through that process, you will lose. And I think, like I said, you and I already had this conversation. We went deep. It was just a regular conversation we're having. We're talking about how much you would lose friends, you would lose family, you would lose a lot of people along the line. But it's that dedication and that commitment that you see far ahead of yourself that no one sees. That's to me, that's entrepreneurship.
Great response. So then, because our goal and objective here is to ensure that, we're having these conversations and not only just having them, but we want to make sure that what you have acquired your experiences so that you can, be able to disseminate some of the information, spread those informations out there for the young men or the young women who are out there, because for us Liberians, we're more focused on the public sector, meaning that government job and this and that. And so that's why I think, tapping deeply into our purpose, defining our purpose, and then tying it into entrepreneurship will kind of make a difference in Liberia. It would take the burden off of government. I know most of the time when I talk, I always stressing a little bit, government do this and government do that. But the reason why we stress that, because we know that the government, in fact, is the most, was a popular or entity that employs people. So if we were to stress deeply on or put more emphasis on entrepreneurship, where everybody, find their purpose, find their calling. What are you selling? You're selling, like you said, sometimes let's say an old man who sells a collar, or another guy. Let's take a step further, talk about some kind of creation more than selling collar, because it's something that everybody would do. But you talk about the sapo, or how you call that, the scrub, right? And you talk about, there was something else that you talk about. So how can we, what are some of the strategies we can use to be able to really ingrain this, so that into the young children or young individuals or our youth, so that they can pivot from, focusing on government job, and to try to tap heavily into the private sector. What would be your advice?
My advice is going to be more, let's try to do away with having the youth going to school and at the end of the day resulting into wants to be employed or be a representative or be some type of government official. You see, that notion have been embedded into people's head in Liberia to the extent the youth don't look for anything else. They don't, the creativity is not in Liberia or in Africa. Let me leave Africa out of it. Let me be more specific on Liberia for a fact. I've had the opportunity to go there. My research and my experience has gone along. Um, let me come back a bit. When I started Beauty Shade, when I saw a vision for Beauty Shade, and don't mind you, when I came back, I brought a whole lot of people in, but I explained it to them in the simplest way I could possibly explain it to them. Like, listen, I've discovered agro processing, and I've discovered this, I've discovered that. If we all collectively come together, we can create this and this out of this. I.e., or for example, this person did it. But the vision that I had was, and again, we talked about this. The vision that I had, I only had a job when I was in Ghana. For example, how I started this business. I had a job. I went on an assignment that under a contract that I actually got under USAID to a colleague of mine who put me on. Because all I knew when I was in Philly, when I left after college, and I worked for a while, after 5 years, I decided to embark on this journey. I went to Ghana under the impression wanting to get a job and just live over there because that's a lifestyle that I want. But that was about 8 years ago. And then as I was working, I started finding out a lot of things. Every assignment that I took assignment based on rural development and agriculture process. And I started discovering things. Mind you, I had the opportunity to start in Liberia in 2012. I did. I lived in Liberia. I stayed in Liberia for a few months in 2012, 2013. But I saw more opportunity at that time. Ghana was on the youth in Ghana was dominating like the Nigerian youth now who are involved in so many other things that when you tell a youth or a young person in Liberia, they would be clueless. But when I discovered agro, I discovered agro on a broad spectrum where I could sit here in America and coordinate resources from Liberia. And so if I was to give an advice to anyone in Liberia or to the youth in Liberia, and I would say like change your mindset from going to school and wanting to obtain a civil servant job and be more creative for what you learn during that process. Like, I could sit here and tell my story and go on and go on and go on and go on, but I will confuse a whole lot of people. It's humble beginning. Open your mind. Be more visionary. The most basic thing around you can make you a fortune from Africa. Simple as that.
So Eddie, with that being said, what would you, because so the young man or young woman who's out there who doesn't understand what agro business or business is, how can you really break it down so that they understand it? Because they, like you alluded to, there's a lot of opportunity that they're sitting on. It's just right around them. It's available, but they do not know. That would be another topic we'll talk about. How can they know
Oh, I
until they have
mean,
a teacher? You know what I mean? So the fact that I'm sitting here is just like that could be another. I know another topic we had the last time. Liberia is not poor, but like the Liberians are poor. So we have all these. How
poor-minded.
what can you do since you've had experiences, you know it. What can you do to enlighten them? Because
Brother, if you see, you see, it's a fine line between asking somebody that, what can we do? What have you done? I've actually had the opportunity, like I think 2022, I lived in Liberia. I told you that on 9th Street, I started my business. I met a lot of entrepreneurs from the J Palm, so a lot of other people that was even being more industrial in Liberia. And the first thing that came to my mind was, how do we bring these people products on the international market? How? What? I mean, I told you last time. What's my current position there for the entire markets around the U.S.? What Acme say for Kroger? I hold a position that and it's a vision that I have to put my products in those markets, but then see, my fellow Liberians who are there thriving and doing. If we can have some type of program. And I proposed it when I was in Liberia. My story is there. I proposed it. Standard Board Authority. If you have a standard board authority that can standardize every product that is being produced in Liberia and can go to and can meet the international standard board requirement, those products can sell in the likes of Walmart. Have I done it? Yes. I took Unique Monster. I took shea butter, donut grease. I create products out of it and I put it in Walmart. So can you imagine? So, bro, if I was to tell you, people have to think outside of the box. Be creative. Like I said, the simplest thing in front of you that you can source and make sense out of it. You can present it and make a fortune out of it. I was reading an article the last time in Nigeria. I told you that earlier. A guy who was just collecting waste, the bottles in the street, the pure water sausage in the streets, and were palletizing it and exporting it to London or somewhere in Europe and was making a fortune. This kid became a millionaire and he told his story. But listen, I started from nothing. Look at these opportunities that we have. Bro, Pankana, or me myself, and I put Pankana in Walmart before. Think about it. I gave these simple, but if all of the youth are all focused behind these politicians who comes and lie and go and don't do anything for them. But that Brabi came into the picture and became a representative and got mad quickly overnight. What do you think I would want to mimic as a youth thing like bro who don't know anything, who's not exposed to any of these things? I would want to mimic the next Brabi and who was representative, got a late team from there, papa, he got rich over there, big horse on the highway somewhere. He's done. So that youth that's coming up is what he wants to do. And even these people who are becoming representatives are not even empowering these people, even trying to teach them something other than what they are exhibiting. So the challenge we're having like bro right now, bro, it's beyond us. So how do I even come and give an advice? So I tried it. And that's what I said. I can't sit here from behind the scene and say, okay, you can do it this way. I physically took my time, invested my time, my money, my effort, my resources, and abandoned my project and went into like, bro, had an office on 9th Street, stayed there for 3 months, went from ministry to ministry, wrote proposals for USAID, teach it. By the end of the day, kids, the youth wasn't willing to work. They're not willing to listen because they don't know anything else. But other than I ain't LU, I ain't AMU. When I get my degree, I won't go be work to the Ministry of State. To do what in there? Half of them don't even go to work. They don't go to work. Bro. They're on payroll. That's how you see like bro corruption can finish. We have people now who on ghost lists. These things are happening like bro, right on now. So how do you empower the youth? When will that bro ever be fixed? It starts from the top.
So you're watching the We Too Are Librarians Movement platform, and this is exactly what we discuss. We have topics that strictly focus on changing the mindset. As you have been hearing, Eddie's pretty much has a lot of experience with entrepreneurship, and we also begin the show by talking about purpose. Whatever we do, it must be intentional. Today, Eddie, you and I were talking. I used Obama as a sterling example. He went to Howard University, graduated, and I mean high honors, but decided he was going to serve the underdeserved community. And I think it's important for us to, and that's real and true purpose. The fact that he decided to go down and see exactly where it brought him. It brought him up, became president of this great country, the United States of America. And I think whatever we do, we must try to find purpose. This is about something bigger than you, bigger than me. And finding purpose is about really ensuring that we do God's work here. All we're doing, that's what it is. It's not about the acquisition of wealth. That's not how we're going to be measured. So again, you're watching the We Too Our Librarians Movement platform. I have with me Eddie, and we'll try to wrap up here. We try to conclude here. So Eddie, if you have, what would you say to your viewers tonight? What advice would you give them regarding our topic tonight?
maybe the biggest advice that I would give, you know, the people, the viewers out there today is don't lose sight of your vision. Don't lose sight of your purpose. Look, I may have been sounding more of a, I don't want to say, I don't want to use that term, hurt from my experiences. I don't give up. And there's so much opportunity that is there. Go with an open mind. Do not be discouraged. Look, before people built the likes of Nigeria, before Dangote became who they are today, everybody has a story. Don't get me wrong. I may emphasize a lot on the problems in Nigeria, but there is a solution. And that's what exactly what the We Too movement is trying to bring light on. That despite what, there's there's so much opportunity that you can uplift anyone in Nigeria just by even putting the effort. But it takes, you can't do it one or two times when you see somebody let you down and you give up. You gotta go. Oh, get you see, let your vision. I have a couple of friends in like I've tried people in Nigeria. I haven't given up on them yet. Sometimes even me here, people can ask me, "You didn't give up yet?" No, I got my business beauty shit to be where it is today because even if I choose and I don't travel to Ghana like that anymore, I can sit here and I can place an order that will come. I don't have to go there. And that's the vision I have for Liberia. I want to sit there and put something together and it moves Liberia without me moving physically. These things can happen. So you can't give up. There's so much opportunity there. I mean, right now I've seen Liberia is coming up. To be frank with you, I see a lot of people that are in Liberia right now, a lot of youth that are in Liberia, the likes of Talia and um, this guy called Armstrong doing the agro rice thing and real estate thing. People, it could be better if just imagine if we can have a handful of those same type of people, two or three of them, who have the land is big. The likes of Tavias and can't be the only people who have restaurants and like this. It could be creative. I remember I was on the team in Ghana that when Uber before Uber launched in Ghana, I was on the team. I had my own fleet. I had about 10 vehicles from here that I literally bought from Copa, quick, put it together, carry to Ghana, fix them up, and I had a fleet. I had my own company in Ghana. I had my own I've developed an app for Liberia anyway called Rovia. I've done a lot. So it's like things are changing and you have to be able to think as things changing.
Sure.
You understand? Like, and that for me, I like speaking Bogo. I like to explain it in the American person.
Yep. Yep.
My book now, I can when I used to work, I can speak it there. But when I'm here,
Yep.
I'm not
Yep.
gonna
Yep.
sit here and try. Yeah. So, but it's a lot of opportunity. It's like when I go to Liberia, every time when I enter Liberia, I'm like, this land is great. But I've seen, like I said, I've seen a lot. There has been uprising. There have been the youth. Some youth are waking up now. People are doing things. I think there was a gaming, virtual gaming system console thing. Some girl, lady started in like people are becoming creative. I mean, you go to Nigeria right now, enter Nigeria. I'm actually serving as an advisor on the board for a project that we're working on right now. That some of my teammates are in Nigeria. Like I sit on live and Zoom with them, and we have conversations. We don't even. I don't have to go to Nigeria no more.
Right.
Things are happening in Liberia. Liberian youth can come to that limelight, and that's what we're trying to tell you guys. Like that's what we're trying to expose out there. There's so much opportunity.
There is. There
So
is.
much
There
opportunity.
is.
Like you spoke about Masapo. I mean, I look at it, I put it in a box, I put sticker on there and say, I branded it. Munich Bun. So can you imagine that? Coconut oil, palm kernel oil. We have those natural resources that even sells on eBay, Amazon for fortune. You just have to be able to put it together, get it here, take it to the market. That's it. Like I said, me, I can't speak too much people and let them make it simple for people to understand.
That was really great. What you did was informative. You know, we're about 29 minutes, approximately 30 minutes into the show. I think we will be concluding here. Eddie, thanks for being with us tonight. I think the information that you share, pretty much, I don't know, anybody, whether you're up there, whether you're down there, will be able to understand it, will be able to, you resonate, you know, or it resonate with you. And there's a lot of opportunities. We know there are challenges, but you got to be able to push yourself, you know. You find your purpose. And once you find that, then you'll be able to find your way into your true calling to be able to make a mark. And that's what it is. You know, we're here for a time in the season. We are wonderfully and fearfully made. There can never be another Eddie. Eddie is distinct.
Oh, no.
You know, one DNA. I'm Aite. You know, one DNA. So the essence of this is, you know, we've been talking about knowledge of self, you know, a whole lot of different topics, but we want to make sure that our youth are identifying, you know, the reason for which they're here. And there's a lot of opportunity. So this is how we're going to conclude this edition of the show tonight. I have been your host. Alongside with me here, I have Eddie Dixon. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. And we look forward to having another discussion, another decent show here. Have a good night.
Definitely. The conversation is going to get a lot more detail.
Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Tell me where we gonna run to after making our motherland a better place to live. Tell me where we gonna run to when them say we have